Hi everyone, and welcome to Page Chasers March book haul. My name is Lydia, and I'm going to be sharing 5 fabulous books that are coming out this month with you guys. So the first one is called The 20-Something Handbook by Nora Bradbury Hale. This book is awesome. First of all, I wish I had it earlier because it's just been so fun to read through. But this book is a very practical, modern guide for today's 20-somethings. And it covers the gambit whether you are finishing up college or you're out of school and trying to figure out what's next, or maybe you're not in college and you're just kind of in this stage of, am I a child? Am I adult? I don't really know what I am. But this is written very conversationally, very practically, with the voice of a friend. You don't feel like you're being talked down to at all. I really love the tone of this book. But this addresses a huge range of different things that you encounter in this stage of life. And it's very modern for people today's age. She acknowledges that being a 20-something today looks a lot different than it did for our parents or our grandparents, and that's okay. But she just has a really refreshing voice and talks about, how today often our life stages look different, and it can be really hard when you have grown up with the expectation that, when I get out of school, then I'm an adult, or when I get married, then I'm an adult, or when I have kids, I'm an adult. And so it kind of addresses those different feelings and understanding that whether you are single or dating or married or in school or out of school, anytime that you're in this 20-something age range when you're trying to kind of figure out where you want to go in life and just what things look like being an established adult by yourself, this covers all of those things. She talks a lot about relationships. You will get how to take care of your car and how to meal prep, how to make sure you're eating okay and taking care of yourself. But you'll also get really good information and insight about just dealing with relationships at this stage. There's a whole chapter on how to relate to your parents if you have finished school and now you're living back with your parents for a while. Super good book, a very practical guide. Highly recommend. I will be hanging on to this one forever, even when I'm out of my 20s, because I really have enjoyed it. All right, next we have Alone in Plain Sight, subtitle, Searching for Connection When You're Seen But Not Known. This is by Ben Higgins. So if you have watched The Bachelor, whether or not you've seen this season, Ben Higgins was the star of the 20th season of The Bachelor, and he was on The Bachelorette previously to that as a contestant. But if you're a fan of the show, you're sure to love this, but you don't have to have seen the show to get something out of this. This is sort of a part memoir, part guide on just really finding connection with other people and finding confidence in who you are and not feeling like an outcast. Ben really has a good head on his shoulders and has a really good voice to speak into this, but he talks a lot about just growing up and struggling with feeling like he was the odd man out and just having a lot of fear and anxiety about being accepted and wanting by other people, which is so relatable to so many of us. And he does have a lot of kind of behind the scenes-y anecdotes about his time on The Bachelor. I feel like he really humanizes celebrities and anyone who's been on reality TV. He really has some insight that kind of made me go, you're right, these are real people. We should be less judgy of them. This is a good read. Again, if you're a fan of The Bachelor, good gift, good read. But also if you're just interested in kind of a new perspective and longing to find some connection. I think this year we all need connection. But just a really good read, encouraging and empowering for that. So that's Ben Higgins, Alone in Plain Sight, which is also coming out in March. All right, next we're going to shift gears a little bit and go to a fiction title. This is called The Paris Dressmaker. This is a World War II historical novel. This follows 2 different women, and so it's kind of told in a split time. One of the women's stories, you get chapters with her, and then scattered throughout, you have these different chapters with the other woman. So it follows a woman named Lila, who is a dressmaker in Paris, and because of her prestige and what she does, she actually gets involved in the Nazi resistance by spying on some of these men who will come in and get fittings and, you know, talking up about their headquarters and their plans. And so she gets into a position where she is able to feed information because of what she does. She also has a romance with a man who is Jewish. And so as she, you know, as he comes into her life, she really starts using her position to try to save his family and fight for their liberation. You have her story, and then we also have Sandrine's story, which takes place a few years later. And Sandrine also has a unique position. She catalogs the works of art that the Nazis have stolen from prestigious Jewish families. As she is kind of in this position, she has opportunities to also feed information to the resistance because of what she's around, and she knows what's coming through. And so as part of her work, she actually finds a Chanel dress that was made by Lila, the person that we're following in the other part of the story. And we know at that point from Sandrine's story that Lila has gone missing. Very cool. You're following the two characters, and so you're always kind of one step ahead with one, trying to figure out how their two stories come together and connecting those dots. So really good read. A good fiction book that is out this month as well. So next we have The Miracle Mentality by Tim Storey. This one is nonfiction. If you haven't heard of Tim Storey, he is a coach and motivational speaker and leader who talks to a lot of celebrities, executives, coaches, lots of people about changing your mindset and having a positive attitude that impacts everything that you do in your life and your motivation. He talks about kind of that people tend to live in a state of either the mundane, the things that we're used to, normal, comfortable, the messy things that we aren't managing well and aren't having a hold of, or what he calls madness, basically this cycle of drama and negativity that just kind of drags you down. And so what he talks about in this book is taking those two things, seeing where they come from, those mentalities, and shifting it to a mentality of miracles or magic. And so just uses a lot of really empowering and encouraging stories of real people to just to talk about having that mentality shift and how that can change the way that you view your life. So this is a good one, you know, for anyone who is just feeling stuck. I think, again, 2021, a lot of us are feeling stuck and just kind of stuck in the motions. A good challenge for anyone who wants to just change their mindset and outlook on life. So that is Tim's story, The Miracle Mentality, coming out in March. The last book we have for you all today is another fun one. It is called Strong Women Lift Each Other Up by Molly Galbraith. This is Molly on the cover. She's amazing. Molly is the co-founder of a movement called Girls Gone Strong, and it's really a platform full of educational resources about health and fitness and nutrition for women and for fitness professionals who work with women. This book is a guide about as it says, women lifting each other up. It's really a response to Molly's personal story. She talks about her journey of going from somebody who was just constantly comparing herself to other women, and in doing so was not treating her body right and was just constantly consumed with being thinner, until she came to a breaking point and realized that she could be proud of who she is as a strong woman. And she talks a lot about just the struggle with jealousy, negative feelings and thoughts and self-worth, or putting other women down because we don't feel good about ourselves. She tells it like it is, and she really wants us to be a resource for what does that look like in my life? What's practical way to support other women, which is huge and incredible. She's a very modern voice, which I think we all need. She talks a lot about acknowledging diversity and the fact that your views might not look the same as hers, and you probably have different experiences because we are all raised differently and have different backgrounds and values. But this is about finding what it makes sense for you in your life to lift each other up, lift yourself up, and just to recognize the worth that you have inherently, and also spread that to other women. And one of the cool things that is in this book, she has a lot of, for one thing, amazing quotes from a lot of famous women. This one's Serena Williams, but I was poking through and she's got some quotes from Beyonce, Viola Davis, Reese Witherspoon, just some really amazing people. Each of the chapters, she kind of addresses a different aspect of lifting each other up and lifting yourself up. And so she has these next step sections where you can come in here, respond to her questions. Depending on what the chapter is focused on, she has these different questions to respond to. She also has a link to online resources. So if you want to keep things digital, but you want to go through this and you're not going to be as apt to write things down, that's a really good resource to do it online as well. But just very practical and a good thing for anybody who just kind of feels like they're stuck in a comparison game or they're missing out on opportunities because they're a woman. It's really a good resource for just changing your mindset, because it's not, there's so many things that are true that make it harder or different to be a woman because you're viewed differently. But she's not coming in here and saying, you know, men are the worst or the society, the government. She doesn't take that angle. She says, we are women, we are strong, and we can make other women strong. And I just love that about her and about her voice. Just empowering. I could talk so much more about this book, but this is a great gift for truly any woman in your life. If you're wanting to see a transformation in your own life and in your heart, and just want to be a part of this movement to empower other women, there's so many practical things in here, and it's one you are not likely to forget. Check out Strong Women Lift Each Other Up, out this March. Really cool book. These are our 5 books for March. All of them are incredible. They're all available on audiobook, so definitely take a look at that. Get them from your library. You won't regret it. So we will see you next time. Hope you all enjoy these books. Let us know if you've read them and what you thought. Bye.